Not too long ago, Six Flags Entertainment Corporation released a whole list of new projects that they plan for the 2026 season. On that list was Six Flags Great Adventure with a brand new record-breaking launch roller coaster. This video is all about what we think that roller coaster is going to be. Even though there's no site work being done or anything like that, could it be delayed? Could it be canceled? Whatever. We're going to get into all the stuff that we happen to know in this video. But first, before we do all that, we'd like to thank you for coming and joining us. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. Like, comment, and of course, a shout out to all our channel members. So thank you to all you guys. So let's get into this video. 2026, that roller coaster isn't going to happen. No site work has been done.
Yeah, there's literally been absolutely nothing that has happened other than that original thing about them getting a roller coaster.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. So I watched a video. Ryan, El Toro Ryan, he did a video all about it. And he has a lot more connections to Great Adventure than we do, being from that area and working in that park. So going by what he was saying in his video, he didn't say the word tariff for some reason, but basically said that he was told the tariffs are pushing this coaster back. And he didn't know if it was going to be in a 2026 season at all, or just late in the season, or in 2027. Let's just go, just for the sake, we're going to say it's going to be the 2027 roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Flash was supposed to be new for 2024 and didn't open until 2025.
Yeah.
So we might see another thing like that. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Pretty much, it's all but confirmed of what kind of roller coaster they're going to be getting, what kind of record-breaking roller coaster. And a lot of people aren't really happy about it. Mach Extreme, or Mac, however you want to say it, Extreme Spinners, there's basically just two of them, and one of them Ride to Happiness.
Yeah, there are two of them. Ride to Happiness and Time Traveler. Time Travelers obviously was the first one. People really liked it. Ride to Happiness opened a couple years ago. Considered one of the greatest roller coasters ever built by, most everyone that's ridden it. So, it might sound good. Great Adventure is getting a Mach Extreme Spinner. But huge but right there. They're getting an Extreme Spinner, but what they're getting, what at least Cedar Fair was calling it, is a tower coaster. So they're not getting what is a full circuit Mach Extreme Spinner. They're not getting Ride to Happiness, with the two launches and a complete circuit.
If you remember, I think it was April or something of 2024, a lot of Cedar Fair parks at the time put out surveys about what roller coaster might be good to they were just putting out surveys to all their pass holders and stuff. And Kings Island had what they called a tower coaster, and it was a Mach spinner, and it was a shuttle coaster. You start off in the station. What I'm going to show you right now is done from a video game, No Limits 2. So this isn't like an official animation from the manufacturer or park, anything like that, but it seems to be what the ride would essentially be. I think the biggest issue with this is that it is a shuttle coaster, and shuttle coasters can only run one train unless they have a turntable.
Mm-hmm. Or a switch, like a switch track.
Something.
Whatever,
yeah. So there's got to be something to add another train, which we would definitely hope that they would do.
Yeah, because Flash is a shuttle coaster that only operates with one train, and the capacity on the ride is terrible, and it always has an extremely long line, and there is no way that they can do that again, especially with a coaster that's projected to be way bigger than Flash.
So our thoughts about this ride, I mean, does it look like it's going to be good? I mean, it looks like it would be okay. You have this huge tower, and you end up launching up it, and it's going to be record-breaking. So I don't know, are they going to make that tower 458 feet? Are they going to make it what Kingda Ka was? Are they going to do that to like mimic Kingda Ka?
I doubt it, but they could go world's tallest spinning coaster or something.
Okay, yeah, because record-breaking, remember, is
very broad.
Yeah, anything can be a record-breaking coaster.
Yeah, you can always, parks will always find some record to break that nobody's ever thought of.
Yeah.
The world's tallest spinning coaster would be interesting because spinning adds a crazy aspect, and if it's really tall, that would be pretty crazy. The big issue with this ride is if they did make it 400 feet, obviously, or even just any sort of decent height, it's going to cost a lot of money. And at that point, why don't you just build something like Ride of Happiness? We have a reason why we think that they will build something like this. But I really wish they would just, get something like Ride of Happiness, which isn't very tall. It's an expensive coaster, but they're already planning on spending the money. I really wish they would get something just like that isn't gimmicky. It's just a really, really good coaster. But there is a reason why we think that they are doing this, and that's because
the general public, the people that actually come to the parks, the majority of the people that come to the parks other than enthusiasts, and the general public, if you're sitting in New York City and you don't ride a lot of roller coasters and you see something, you're like, oh my God, a 400-foot spinning coaster that launches and does all this stuff. You're going to be like, that is insane. I'm going to drive down that hour and a half and get down to Great Adventure. I'm going to go ride that ride.
The thing is, Ride of Happiness is only like 120 feet tall. It is not very visually impressive. A lot of people will look at it and just think it's another roller coaster. There's nothing special about it. And they probably won't make the crazy money that they would if they had some giant spectacle coaster that is really, really tall.
Yeah, and then whenever you pull into the parking lot, you're used to seeing Kingda Ka right there, and it was like prominent in the skyline.
If you pull up and you see something that is Ride of Happiness size, it would look pretty bad. Yeah. Even if the coaster is way better than Kingda Ka, you're seeing something that's so much shorter, and it's just like, this is the replacement. It would look bad for the park, and the general public wouldn't be impressed, and that is exactly what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah, so right now, whenever people flood into the park, they're going to see this huge towering structure, and it's going to be impressive, and they're going to be like, oh, look, that thing replaced Kingda Ka. Let's see. It's spinning, and it's brand new. This thing will probably be better than Kingda Ka.
Right.
That's what most of the people are going to think. And what they're probably hoping is that it just draws in record numbers and people from that huge metropolitan areas that that Great Adventure is surrounded from will just flood to the park.
Which, I mean, if there was a 400-foot tall spinning coaster, a lot of enthusiasts would be pretty intrigued too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a first of its kind roller coaster, which the thing that I don't even get is, like, if you go on Mach's website, they don't even have this roller coaster listed.
What, the tower coaster?
Yeah. They don't even have that listed.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just an extreme spinner, but just to tell them to build a big tower.
Yeah, it's an extreme spinner that's a shuttle that has a huge tower. I mean,
but it's just taking an incredible coaster concept and making it very gimmicky, which, just sucks.
Yeah, because as enthusiasts, we tend to hate gimmicks. We want something with, like, some actual substance.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. The ride doesn't have to be super tall. It doesn't have to be, whatever. If it's a really good coaster, that's what enthusiasts look for. And that is kind of what would be the little bit of a disappointment if they did go ahead with this for enthusiasts.
But the general public, they eat up some gimmicks. So I was in line for Top Thrill 2 the other day, and you were not there.
I was not there.
Nope. And I had some people behind me, and it was a group of, I don't know, girls, probably like teens, maybe early 20s or so. And they were all talking amongst themselves, and they were talking about their favorite rides in the park. They were going over everything. And I heard them say, oh, I don't know, I either really liked Steel Vengeance or Val Raven. And those were the two coasters that, like, most of them were like, oh, yeah, it's probably one of those two are my favorite.
Yeah.
As an enthusiast, Steel Vengeance is one of the best coasters in the world. Mm-hmm. Val Raven is a dive coaster that that we don't ride, but a few times, every few visits or whatever,
right,
we'll ride.
Yeah. It's just kind of, it's a fun coaster that, it's there. But for general public, they see a giant 230-foot tall dive coaster that hangs you over the drop, and people freak out at that. And they absolutely love it. Which, I mean, I guess it would be pretty scary if you're not used to roller coasters. Yeah. Hanging off of a big drop.
It's scary even if you are used to roller coasters. But, I mean, like, hanging over the edge, well, I'm afraid of heights. So
yeah, especially if you're afraid of heights.
So this is where the park and the chain is going with this idea. So can't really blame them. But as enthusiasts, it's no longer the Richard Kensel era where he was just a coaster enthusiast at heart. And he was just throwing in things that he thought was best for like being an enthusiast. All right, let us know down below what you think about this tower coaster, this Mach Extreme spinner, whatever you want to call this type of ride. Let us know down below. We'd love to have a little bit of back and forth and some conversation with everyone about this. But any last thoughts about this? Nope, that is it. So we'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios.